Hi students, संतोष बोलतोय. Today I am going to deliver my lecture number 7 part 2 on irrigation engineering, which deals with the weirs and barrages, and which is very important topic in irrigation engineering, and it is very useful for the MPSC mains examination, that is Maharashtra Engineering Services, and it is also important for the students who are appearing for the diploma and degree level of examinations. Also it is useful for various types of competitive examinations. So to know the basics of irrigation engineering and to know the civil engineering in simple and effective manner, you must subscribe my channel SK Civil Engineering Academy, and also press bell icon and press like button if you like my content. So let us start the lecture number 7 part 2, weirs and barrages. As we already discussed in the diversion headwork, the weirs are constructed across the river for maintaining the water level in the canals. A weir is an impervious barrier constructed across a river to raise the water level on its upstream side and divert the water into canal taking off from its upstream side, as shown in the diversion headwork. And the top of weir is kept below the HFL at weir side, and hence the water flows over its entire top or a crust. If weir also stores water of tiding over small periods of short supplies, it is called as storage weir. So weir sometimes used for storing the water also. The main difference between the storage weir and the dam is only height and duration for which water is stored. Means for dam the storage height is more and also storing period or detention period is more. For weir the height is also small and the period of detention of water is also small. You must remember these things for MCQ. Then we are going to discuss the body of weir. Its function is to raise the water level on the upstream side. It should be sufficiently strong to resist the water pressure also and uplift pressures from the foundation or from beneath to the foundation. So body of the weir, it should be watertight. It should be strong enough to resist the water pressures and uplift forces. Then we are going to discuss the upstream apron. Name itself indicates it is provided on the upstream side. It protects the main body of the weir during the flood and from eroding action. It must be strong in order to withstand downward water pressure and also to prevent any leakage in the subsoil. So uplift apron is provided to protect the weir in floods. Then upstream curtain wall. It is provided to reduce the uplift pressure. The length of the curtain wall is depend upon the nature of the soil. So this is the upstream curtain wall as shown in here, This is the upstream curtain wall. This is the weir. This is the river flow, means this is the upstream side and this is the downstream side of weir. Then this top of weir is called as a weir crest. Then the shutter is provided here also. This is the weir body. This is the upstream apron. This is the downstream apron, and this is the upstream curtain wall, and this one is the downstream curtain wall. And these are the protection works or protection blocks provided on the downstream side to protect the weir structure from hydraulic action. And stone pitchings are done on the upstream side also. So such a cross section of your weir you must know or you must remember for remembering all these component parts. So downstream curtain wall, it protects the downstream side and floor from uplift pressure. It should be strong enough to resist the falling energy of the water. It also supports the downstream apron also. Then crest, the top of weir is called as a crest as shown in figure. This is the top of weir which is termed as a crest, and it must be strong enough and durable because during the flood it has to resist the water pressure, and that is the severe one. Shutter, it is provided at the top of the weir crest in order to raise the water level of a river on the upstream side and divert it into the canal for irrigation purpose. It can be raised or laid flat during the flood. So this is the level where shutters or gates is to be provided on the weir. Then we are going to discuss the type of weirs. The first type of weir is the masonry weir with vertical drop. So this weir consisting of vertical drop wall. This is the weir wall, vertical drop wall or crest wall with or without crest gates and a horizontal impervious floor at upstream side and downstream side. Ends in impervious floor, cutoff piles are provided. Means this is the cutoff. This is the upstream cutoff. This is the downstream cutoffs. In terms of piles, it is to be provided. And on the upstream side, this is the puddle is to be provided. This is the crest shutter which is provided on the top of weir wall. And here there is a downstream impervious apron is provided. And such a type of weir is called as a masonry weir with the vertical drop. And aprons are provided on the both sides. Vertical drop weirs are suitable on any type of foundation, that is very important. And the raised masonry crust does the maximum ponding of the water, and a part of it is being done by the shutter at the top of crest. Means shutter is provided here to carry out that excess water from the upstream side to downstream side, and such a weir is called as a masonry weir with vertical drop. So you must remember this figure. You must know the weir wall, you must know the upstream side, you must know the downstream side, you must know the downstream protection weirs which are shown here in terms of 1 meter rubble filling, 0.3 meter of quarry rubble filling, and core wall construction is also there. Then rockfill weirs with sloping aprons. This is the rockfill weir with sloping apron. This weir consisting of body wall or a weir wall, and dry stones are laid on the upstream side and downstream side in form of glacis. It requires a very large quantity of stones. They are suitable for soft foundation where the difference between weir crest and downstream river bed does not exceed than 3 meter. Means the level difference does not exceed 3 meter from upstream side or weir crest and downstream side of the river bed. Example of this weir is Okhla weir on Yamuna river near Delhi. So this is the weir wall. This is the upstream side. This is the downstream side. The slope is given in 1 in 20 on the downstream side. Okay, the rubble filling or rock filling is here. The upstream slope is 1 in 4 also. And these are the core walls which are provided on the downstream side of the weir wall. And such a weir is called as a rockfill weir with sloping apron. The apron slope is 1 in 20 on the downstream side and 1 in 4 on upstream side. An example is the Okhla weir. Then third one is the concrete weir with sloping downward glacis or sloping apron. Weirs of these types are comparatively of the recent origin. When water passes over such a weir, hydraulic jump is formed on the sloping glacis so as to dissipate the energy of the flowing water. This type of weir is now exclusively used especially on the permeable foundation. So if this is the upstream side of the river and if this is the downstream side of the river, these are the arrangement made on the upstream side, or these are the cutoff walls. Okay, this is upstream cutoff wall, this is downstream cutoff walls made here to resist the uplift pressure also, and this is the sloping apron which is provided on the downstream side to formation of the hydraulic jump, and this is for dissipation of the energy. Such an arrangement is made for the dissipation of the energy and to avoid the more damage on the downstream side. Then this is a very important type of weir used in Maharashtra. Whenever you travel in the Maharashtra from one district to other district, or from the rural roads, or from MDR or state highways, you must see this type of structure that is termed as a KT weir or Kolhapur type bandhara. It is fully open weir consisting of number of piers having side grooves for fixing wooden needles. The needles are put across the pier for the required height to form a continuous weir. Means these are the piers just we are going to construct for the bridges. These are the piers construction is there, and there is arrangement is made for the needles also. Needles means these are the steel gates. These steel gates are provided here or here. These are the steel gates, and the The road is provided on the top of this KT weir also. The height of weir can be changed by removing the needles or putting the additional needles. The needles are to be taken out during the flood season, so there is no accretion of levels and the rise of flood level on the upstream side of the weir. These types of bandar are commonly constructed in Kolhapur district, and therefore it is known as a KT weir or Kolhapur type weirs. Nowadays KT weirs are also constructed in the other district of the Maharashtra. So by looking this figure, you must get the arrangement. The arrangement is similar to bridge. There is a construction of abutment. Here there is a construction of another abutment. There is construction of piers also. And for regulating water supply, the construction of needles are there. That needles regulate the water. If we have to allow the water to pass over it, we have to remove that needle, and if we want to store that water, we have to place that needle or place that steel plates to regulate the supply of the water. In this figure, it is shown that mild steel needles. These are the mild steel needles which is constructed in between that piers. 2 meter, the size is around 2 meter. And the roadway is provided at the top of pier and abutment. And the total width is around 6.30 to 7 meter. And such a type of weir is called as a KT weir. And you must study this KT weir from examination point of view also. For descriptive paper, there is short note on Kolhapur type of bandaras or KT weir. But for MCQs, you must know these distances between the two piers for typical arrangement is 2 meter. The width of that pier is around 1 meter. The road surface or road surface slab is around 4.25 meter. The overall width is around 7 meter. So you must know all that. The mild steel needles are provided. These are the grooves for that needles also. You must know all these type of arrangement for the Kolhapur type of bandara. Then we are going to discuss the selection of site for KT weirs. How the site for KT weir is selected. For that, availability of good rock at the site giving easy foundation condition is important because we have to construct the abutment and piers. Availability of some past monsoon flow must be with us to design that or to select that site. The bed of the nala or stream is practically flat or with very mild slope to have large storage of water with small height of bandara. So bandara height should be such that we don't need the more height, but we have to store the more water. Some well irrigation should exist on the banks on the upstream side is also there. And inclination of the people to practice the lift irrigation direct from the storage or from wells or banks. So there must be practice in the villagers or farmers to lift the water for the irrigation purpose for that KT weir. Then we are going to discuss the second part. Weir is the first part and barrages are the second part. What is the difference between weir and barrage? The basic difference is nothing but the barrages are gate controlled or gate weirs that are termed as barrages. Barrages is gate controlled weir. The heading up of water is affected by the gates alone. The top of weir wall is at the river bed level. A number of piers are constructed above this and gates are installed. No solid obstruction is put across the river. The crest level in the barrages is kept at low level. During the floods, the gates are raised to clear off the high flood level, enabling the high flood to pass downstream side with minimum afflux, that is important. After the flood have passed, the gates are erected or closed, rising the water level on the upstream side. Due to this, there is less silting and better control over the levels. However, the barrages are much more costly than the weirs. So, if economy is there, we go for the weirs. But if we want to better control, we go for the barrages. It depends upon the economy. It depends upon the functions also. So, in this figure, the pond level is shown also. High flood level is also shown. The upstream protection works are also shown and downstream protection works also shown for that particular barrages. The advantages of barrages. What are the advantages of barrages? There is less silting and better control over the level of water. Because of gates, there is a better control. We can control the level of water on the upstream side and downstream side, and to remove the excess water or flood water from the upstream side to downstream side. Low cost of flood banks. The flood bank cost is low also, and less cost of protective and energy dissipation work. For weir, we have to make more arrangement for the protective works and for energy dissipation works, but it has a better control in weir. Barrages, not weirs. It is better controlled in weirs. That is the advantages of barrages. So weirs has a more protective and energy dissipation work, but the barrages are barrages having less cost of protective and energy dissipation works. So we go for the cross section of barrage. Please look at this barrage. This is the upstream side of barrage, and this is the downstream side of barrage. The cut-off walls are shown here in the form of sheet piles. These are the cut-off walls, sheet pile. This is the protective work on the downstream side. This is the protection work on the upstream side. These are the curtain walls. These are the deflector blocks. Here they term this level as a downstream side. So this level must be a upstream side. So water can be, excess water can be removed from upstream side to downstream side by means of the gates provided over that barrages, and that gates we studied in our earlier lectures also, various types of gates. Okay, so the top of that barrage is called as a crest. Over the crest there is an arrangement of gate. Okay, and that gates are placed on the piers. So you must remember this cross section of the barrage, and also arrangement on the downstream side, arrangement on the upstream side. You must know the upstream impervious apron. You must know the downstream loose talus corner blocks. You must know the curtain walls. You must know the deflector blocks provided on the downstream side. On the upstream side there is a cut water. On the downstream side there is a east water pier. So you must know where the cut water is provided, where the east water is provided, and you must remember all these figures by careful studying that. So this might be useful for your MPSC main studies. So study very well for MPSC mains examinations, and this is a very important one, and all the type of examinations these differences are asked. The weir and barrages difference. Weir, the initial cost of weir is low, but the initial cost of barrage is high. The area of submergence is more due to large afflux. For weir, area of submergence is less due to less afflux. So for area of submergence, barrages are more important. Due to crest, there is a problem of silting, but there is a good control over the silting in barrages. The control over flood is not possible in weir, but control over the flood is possible in barrages because of gates. It is difficult to inspect and repair the weir because there is no construction of roadway over the weir. But for the barrages, this provides better facilities for inspection and repair of the various structures. Roadway is not possible across the river for the weir, but the roadways can be provided across the river over barrages. The raising and lowering of shutter is not convenient as it requires more time and labor as it is done manually. The raising and lowering of the gates is convenient as it is opened mechanically. So weirs are less important as compared to barrages. Okay, the storage of water is done by crest, and very little by nil portion of the water is by gate. Most of the water storage is done by the shutter in case of barrages, and very less or nil portion of the water is by crest. So by studying this, the weir and barrages both are the same structures. Weir are economical, barrages are costly. Area of submergence for weir is more, but the area of submergence for barrages is less. So by studying all these various factors, we can decide to go for weirs or barrages. So please listen my all other lectures till the end, and these are very important as far as irrigation engineering is concerned. So till then, bye bye, see you, bye.